how to say it. Okay? The objectives are select the right words and sentence structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. It's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. And the title of his speech is Another Hat in the Ring. Please help me welcome Mr. Jim Mosley.
By now, you've all heard that Mayor Daley is not going to be running for another term. And reflecting on this, thinking things over deeply and talking it over with my family, I have decided to throw my hat into the ring. Now, there are a lot of opponents I know I'm going to be running against, and you've heard of some of them. Now, I'm not going to mention some of the things which have been going on. You've heard about with Dorothy Brown and some of the embezzling things going on, some of the corrupt things, some of the things she's been caught with, some of the stealing, lying, pilfering. I'm not going to mention any of that, because that would be a bad thing. This is not about mentioning petty problems other people have. It's about building a better Chicago. It's about making a better place for us all. That's what it's all about. It's why people come to Chicago. It's why they need to continue coming to Chicago. Now, mistakes have been made. One of the biggest mistakes was the parking fiasco. And I lay the sole blame on that of Mayor Daley. It was a disaster. It shouldn't have happened. There are people all over Chicago right now who are being denied their parking spots, basically, having to pay hundreds of dollars in parking fees they shouldn't have had to pay, all because of a very badly done, very poorly designed, very poorly thought out deal, which has had huge ramifications, which nobody in charge thought about. And that's the problem. People aren't thinking. They need to start thinking. We need a thinker. And that's what I bring. Practical thought. I've been a consultant now for 20 years, strategy consulting, and I know what I'm talking about. I can tell you from the beginning that was a bad deal. That was a horrible deal. It just wasn't going to happen. Because when you just turn over all your stuff to the people for the parking like that, pretty soon what are they going to do? Jack up the price. What's to stop them from jacking up the price? But nobody asked that. Nobody asked that. Now, a lot of these people who are running today, they're established politicians. They've been around here. They've been around a while, and they'll argue that, oh, they know what's going on best. They have the experience. Argue, I have no experience and therefore don't know what's going on. All I know is that I could tell that that was a bad deal at the beginning, and none of them seems to have known. Those people who are in charge of that, many of those people are running, and take a look at their established politicians. We don't want established politicians. Established politicians are the problem. The old way is the problem. The way things used to be done. Now, I don't want to be out here going out there and battling all those fights. And that's what they've been doing. They've been battling fights right and left, throwing mud back and forth, mudslinging going on, all these negative ads, attack ads. It gets tiring. But I do want to fight the battles, the important battles, the battles that need to be fought. And I'm willing to do that. And if I was in charge and if I was mayor, I would have fought a battle about that parking thing. Whoever came up with that, that was a bad idea. Shouldn't have been done. Not about battling the fights. It's about fighting those battles. And I will continue to fight. I've always been a fighter. I've been a fighter from the very beginning. My consulting company, sometimes people come in and they've got an idea and they really want to push it on me and say, Tim, you know, this is the way we think things ought to be done. And I say, no, it's not the way things should be done. It's not going to work. You think it's going to work now, but it's not. So this is what we really, really want. And they say, well, sorry, I can't do that. You want to do that, you got to go somewhere else. And that's the problem. There are too many yes people here. There are too many yes people that just go along with whatever's happening. And as the power starts building and building, then the corruption starts growing and growing. More and more, they start to become more and more corrupt. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's a problem. You have all the power centered at the top. One thing I would bring out is that I would spread the power out. Start having a little bit more open committee discussions. A little more open feedback from all the people. Develop a feedback system, develop a website, develop something to get some sort of feedback from the outside. It's this closed system that we're in. It's these established politicians. These people who have been here forever and ever. They're the problem. I am the solution to that problem. I know some people out there aren't sure that I don't have any track record, I haven't been around a while. I fully get that. I understand. I'm not here to go over the same old road. I don't want to drive over the same old road. I don't want to go down that same path we've been down so many times before. I want to forge a new path, a new road, a new Chicago, a new destiny, a new direction into the future. That's what it's all about. That's why we're here. That's why I come to Chicago. People come to Chicago because it's a land of opportunity. We shouldn't be chasing off the businesses. We shouldn't be chasing off the people. We shouldn't be raising taxes to such a point that nobody wants to be here anymore. That's the old way of thinking. I'm about the new way of thinking. Coming months and coming weeks, I'll be telling you more about my platform. For right now, I just wanted everybody to know I've thrown my hat in the ring, and it's going to stay there. Trust me.
Okay. Next speech by Benito Vera. He will